Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our first guest always knows how to pick out the best fruits and veggies, and he's here to share some of his secrets. We welcome back produce expert Josh Alsberg. Good to see you again, Josh.
You too, Helen. Happy spring.
Early spring.
Kind of.
That like fake spring.
Right.
You know, although it's going to be a beautiful day today.
I know. It's supposed to be beautiful for a few days.
You love it.
We had the February fake out, then the March rain, and now it's, you know, and it's confusing for the plants too. So
I bet.
Yeah. So they're not really sure, should we grow? Should we wait? You know, and so we're keeping our fingers crossed for April or May.
It's hard to pick out what you should pick out in the produce section because you always say to eat in season.
As much as you can, yes. Yeah. We're going to get to that in a minute too. Okay. There are a few things that you're going to be able to find seasonally. Okay. In particular, you want to look for like the early spring sprouting vegetables.
Okay.
I'm going to have you hold up that. Okay, so this is called Rob or rapini or inflorescence. Oh. It's hard to find at most of the stores. This is something that you're going to find at the farmer's market. And this is the sprouting leaves and shoots of most what we call cruciferous plants. So they have broccoli, turnip. This one in particular is called kohlrabi, which is a root bulb. And they send up the shoots because they've stored all that sugar over the winter time. Right. And it's really delicious. I highly recommend taking a taste of the florets, the leaves.
So do you actually make a salad with these guys?
You can make a salad. Usually I would treat it like kale, so you like braise it on the stovetop.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it's really nice. The flowers are actually pretty sweet because they've stored up all those sugars over the winter time.
You know, there's a problem, Josh. I don't always trust you. So when I'm getting ready to taste like, oh, here we go, another one of his veggies, yes. And then it's good. So like that's very good.
Good. Well, yeah. I'm not going to make you taste the roots that are below that. Okay. There. So, so these are spring turnips. Okay. And the roots look beautiful. There's going to be a couple of pock marks where maybe a bug got in and bit it. That you really shouldn't
worry about that.
Yeah, what you're looking for are the greens in particular. Okay. So what we're going to really talk about is to instead of using your eyes the whole time, you're going to use your nose and you're going to use your hands. Okay. So those greens, they should feel nice and crisp. They might even squeak a little bit. These are fresh greens compared to something like this, if you hold that up. Yeah. Yeah, so those are kind of limp. Like the roots are probably still fine, but the greens are pretty shot. Okay. So what you want to avoid, and normally we bring a lot of beautiful things. Like I had to try to find some stuff that was not as savory looking. Okay. But yeah, so you want to avoid greens that look like this. I'll give you an example here. So this is spinach. Yes. And you can kind of see the difference here between this bunch, which is nice and healthy. You can hear it sort of crisp around. You want to hear that. Versus this still has a little bit of squeak, but you see how it's a lot more limp. Ideally, what you are looking for are vegetables, greens specifically, that have been kept hydrated. Okay. So most
like you see in the produce section, they're always spraying them.
Exactly. Yeah. So things that aren't sprayed or go left unsprayed are going to end up like this. You want to avoid that sort of thing.
Does it affect the taste? I mean, are those two very different tastes, or?
It'll slightly affect. It's just really more of like, it's like the freshness
They'll last
of it.
longer. I gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So unless you're using this right away, I would probably avoid something like that. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and I guess the big thing is for me, like I try to buy things in bulk. I avoid plastic. You know.
I was gonna say because I see more and more packaging of things that you could just buy without the packaging.
Salad in particular is going to be hard to find without packaging to a certain degree because of the cross-contamination issue. You know, so something like this, you know, this is what we put together in our store. So these greens come to us in bulk, and then we package these up. So we actually have eyes on this. Okay. So something like this in particular, and by the way, these what we call clamshells in the industry, they're super wasteful because you can't really reuse these. You kind of throw them away. But the thing of it is like this, you can really actually see what's going to be fresh in there. Sure. With this, like I picked this up and you can already see that there's some leaves that are starting to turn a little bit color. Yes. It might be hard with the light here, but.
No, you can see that they're turning brown.
Exactly. And then this whole thing gets thrown away because you can't really do anything with this. Okay. And it's the same sort of thing like, you know, for strawberries. I want you to pick up that strawberry and show the bottom here. Like you can actually see. Oh my gosh. There's a big giant moldy spot right there. You know, so anything that's coming in a clamshell.
Look.
Yeah. And you may not even notice that when you pick it up at the grocery store.
I would look and go, oh, that looks nice.
You know, with the strawberries there in front that are repacked essentially. Yeah. You know, someone goes through that and you can see, and you can actually take a look and see, you know, and feel. That's the other big thing, is that you can feel if those strawberries are fresh. Do you pay attention to
scent as well?
Exactly. Here, for example, here, and also weight is a big thing.
Weight is a big thing.
So feel that, and then feel this guy. So two of the same similar grapefruit.
Oh yeah.
So you feel how one's heavier than the other.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this one here.
Oh my gosh, be careful, Josh.
And you see, like, there's some juice in there.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily like teeming with juice. Versus this one, this is going to drip all over the place.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So there's a lot more juice in that,
yeah.
And so the quality of that is going to be a lot better.
Yeah, I also feel like it feels softer, like there is more there.
Right. Now normally you wouldn't want like a softer piece of, with citrus it can be a little, you don't want it to be too soft,
right?
But a little bit softer is okay. And you're also looking for smoother skin on the citrus.
Okay.
I want to also make note, potatoes, because this time of year they may not look as savory.
Right, yeah.
You know, you can see the color on that's a little bit more dull. This one is actually starting to sprout.
Yeah.
You're looking for nice, dense potatoes.
Yeah.
You're going to do the same thing with the onions because you want to avoid sprouting onions. So, for example, so you can see the difference there. So this one is starting to sprout. This one is not. So avoid this sort of thing in the store.
Josh, lots of information. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Helen.
All right. We'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.